Welcome! Today I have an unboxing to share with you. Remember back to a previous video where I announced I was newly hired as a senior electrical engineer? Well, in that video I said I might use some of my new income to purchase new lab equipment. Living up to that promise, I have here a new piece of equipment. In case you are wondering if the equipment you see on this table is all that I have, the answer is no. This is my secondary lab, the one where I do all my video recording. My main laboratory is in a room down the hall and has a lot more equipment than you see in here. But what's in the box is something that I could use in both my labs. With that said, I'm excited to see what's inside the box. So, I'm gonna get something to open it with, and I'll be right back. Please, stick around. So, let's slice this thing open. You can probably see from the packaging that I ordered this from Test Equipment Depot. Mrs. Plague informed me that I was actually using a letter opener. I thought it was a regular knife. Oh well, we'll get this thing open one way or another. And there we have it. Let's see what's inside. Fantastic! It's a box inside of a box. Well, let's slice this thing open and see what we have. It's something from GW Instech. Let's take it out of the plastic wrap and have a look at it. Wow, look at that! What we are looking at is a new 4-channel programmable DC power supply with 2 of the channels capable of being configured as programmable loads. The first 2 channels go up to 32 volts at 3 amps, 64 volts at 3 amps in series, or 32 volts at 6 amps in parallel. Channel 3 is up to 5 volts at 1 amp, and Channel 4 is up to 15 volts at 1 amp. This is the GW Instech GPP4323 with LAN. I paid $564.30 in US currency, plus tax, of course. Let's see what it all comes with. There's a declaration of traceable calibration, a short quick start guide with the specs, an AC power cord, and a bag with some test leads and such. Let's open the bag and see what they gave us. Looks like a couple banana plug to alligator test leads. A couple U-type connector to alligator test leads. A short bar. A CD. And a packaging list. Does anyone still have a CD drive? Anyway, let's plug it in. If we turn it on, you can see the main display, which is configurable. We can also graph the output voltage, current, and power. And if I can figure out how to get into it, you can also program different sequential waveforms and such. By the way, if we look at the back, you can see some ports that we can connect to, such as a LAN port, USB, and serial. It also has a control I/O port. This supply is capable of SCPI commands, or SCPI, which stands for Standard Commands for Programmable Instruments. So you can connect this to a computer to control it. Now, the purpose of this video is not to give a complete review of this product, since I haven't had any time to explore this yet, but rather this is just an unboxing video. But I may make another video in the future where I give a detailed review of this DC power supply. Now, I know what some of you might be wondering. Does an electronics hobbyist really need a 4-channel supply like this? The answer is no, absolutely not. You can easily get by with something a lot less expensive than this. So, why did I buy this? Well, first of all, I'm not just a hobbyist. I also work as an electrical engineer as my day job. And during these work-from-home times, it's nice to kind of beef up my lab a little bit. Also, this might help me develop more videos in which I can better show and explain concepts or experiments to you. I do have other DC supplies that work just fine, but this new DC supply has capabilities that those others just can't match. One thing nice is that we can easily create simultaneous positive and negative supply rails, along with some sequencing. I can't forget to mention that it has some nice monitoring capabilities. Also, the load functionality can come in quite handy if we want to test load transients. So, what if you don't want to spend this kind of money? What are some of your options? Well, for starters, you can use a battery, but unfortunately, batteries become discharged after some usage. For a continuous voltage, you could simply use a power supply wall wart like one of these. They're cheap and can do the job, but they do have some drawbacks. They are usually not adjustable and can have a lot of ripple that needs to be filtered out. You can see I added a couple leads to plug into a breadboard. You can also buy cheap adjustable supplies like this here. You've probably seen me using this in some of my videos, and it works great. I believe I paid somewhere in the area of $30 to $40 for it, if I remember correctly. There are a variety of inexpensive power supplies like this that you can look into. Also, when I was younger, I had a DC power supply that was my go-to supply. I got it back when I was a teenager, and used it for many years to follow. Here's an old video clip showing this DC supply. It was rack mountable and very reliable. It was made by Electroproducts Laboratories. I can't quite make out the model number due to some rust on it, but it looks like it says P something 5R, maybe PS 5R. I don't have the supply anymore, but I wish I kept it. I think it would have made for an interesting teardown. Unfortunately, this thing felt like it weighed 100 pounds or so, and it was very difficult to move. I can't seem to find any info on this old Electro DC supply, so if any of you know anything about it, then please leave a comment telling us what you know. So, that's all I have for you today. If you like these videos, then be sure to peck at that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and peck at that notification bell to be notified of all my new videos as they become available. Thank you, and we'll see you next time, right here on Dr. Play.